Uh, Coming to you live from Patriot 6 living room. We'll see what we do tonight. It's not going to be a very long video as I started taking my nebulizer yesterday, and I've got a cold. I mean, I'm not sick, but my throat is a little bit sore, and I'm not gonna go very long. So guys, we're gonna play the music and then say the pledge, because for some reason the music just started playing.
If tomorrow all the things were gone, I'd work for all my life, and I had to start again. Just my children and my wife. Thank my lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, when at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I'd happily stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston, and New York to LA. There's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say,
because it's too cold. And so, you know what? You can sit and go back
be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Yes, everyone, just a little bit different format tonight starting off. I was sitting here, my tablet's here. I had God Bless the USA ready to go, and all of a sudden it went on its own. So who am I to argue? The sweatshirt I'm wearing tonight was given to me for my birthday from Myrna when her and Diane came up to my party. And it got put away, but it's time to pull them back out. I mean, man, I tell you, the weather we're having here. And when I told you I got a sore throat, it's nothing major. I just don't want it to get too bad. You know, I want to nip this in the bud before the weekend. Friday is my sister's final Good Friday with the kids. She's not going to do them anymore. But this, again, my sister's been saying this for 5 years. She likes oh, come on, Aunt Rhoda, come on, please, do one more. But she always said, and this was reminded me by Ron, she's always said she would do them as long as her youngest grandchild was in school, and her youngest grandchild graduates high school this year, just in about a month. So it is what it is, and we're sitting here looking at things and doing things, and I want to go in and talk to the kids now. Just everything right now to me is looking good, kids. And people get going. Jimmy and Patriot 7, Boogie Boogaloo Boogaroo and Boogs, Karate Kid and Wyatt Earp, Princess our Queen, and Hunter, her big brother, Leona Leilon, Patriot 7, Patriot Super Gymnast, Patriot Small Hank, whose birthday is Saturday, Patriot Little Monkey, who I taught her something today. There's a joke out there, kids, and then Patriot Kira. But there's a joke out there. And this guy is talking to some other guys, some friends. And he had his wife there, and his wife is very hard hearing. And every time one of the other guys would say something to her husband, this little lady would go, "What you say? And he said that, that they've got plans to go on vacation. And then they'd say something else, and what do you say? And her husband, and she did this, what do you say, about 7 or 8 times. And all of a sudden, one of the guys says, "Whoa, woo, sound like someone passed gas." And the little old lady looks at her husband saying, what do you say? And the husband says, he thinks he knows you. So it's the what do you say? I got saying that today, earlier. And the little monkey started imitating me. And I tell you, of all the times I've told that joke, and all that times that joke's been told to me, because that was a big joke when I used to be married, and my 2 sets of brother-in-laws, my 2 sister-in-laws, actually I had 3 of the sister-in-laws, but one never married. We'd all get together, and that joke was at least told 3 times while we were sitting at the dining room table, just sitting, drinking, and having a good time. And we always thought that my brother-in-law, Jeff, was the one that said, what do you say, the best. But the little monkey took it over today. Amber just lost it. She just couldn't believe her talking. So I'm looking up at the TV screen. The White Sox is over, and there's a phrase that might happen. It says when HE double toothpicks freezes over. Well, it might have just froze over because Andrew Vaughn just got an infield hit. So anyway, what do you say? Anyway, the kids, I don't really want to go into a lot of detail tonight. All I'm saying is things I'm hearing is really good. But the one thing I wanted to go into it for, see, us as adults, everybody keeps saying that we're all in it for the money. We can't be in it for the money. We have to be in for more than just the money, because everybody tells us money is the root of all evil. Well, have you ever noticed it's always the rich people that have the money that say this? Because they don't want the poor people like us to have any, because that throws everything off whack. Kind of what the hat is doing now, throwing everything out of, I mean, he's just got things out of proportion, something fierce. Mike Davis, I sent you a package yesterday. It should be there Friday or Saturday. Why'd you just tell him?
No. I just thought that.
Huh?
Nah, I didn't.
Actually, it's for the little girl. And something for you too. But anyway, it's always the rich people
Happy Easter.
that makes the statement, money is the root of all evil. But see, how come so many poor people are evil? They should be happy, 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 right? Am I right, Mike? Janet? Ron? Papa G? Maria?
This might be the first time.
If you don't have money, if you're poor, you should be just happy, happy, happy. You shouldn't have to worry about other things. Ron, Papa G wants to know how you're doing.
That's what I wanted. So I asked him when it. No, maybe I didn't.
No, it says right here, it says Papa G.
Okay.
How are you doing,
Doing
Ron?
fine.
He's doing fine. But anyway, it is what it is. But I really believe, money or no money, that we all want it. Because then we can do things. We can
prove that we're not crazy.
we can prove that we're not crazy, as Ron would say.
He didn't try to steal.
And
I think he gets thrown out.
I don't think it's actually crazy. Well, hell ain't gonna freeze over, because then there was a pass ball in the game, and even with a pass ball, he got thrown out at second. Someday he'll take them weights off of his legs when he runs, but it is what it is.
He needs a miracle bits.
Yes, I agree. But anyway, I just believe that this is for the kids because, see, the kids can actually be raised. My grandkids, they'll actually be raised. But see, as I was talking to my daughter, they'll get things. But they got to learn how to get them. It's not just going to be, I'm going to hand you this. You're going to do this. It's funny, these kids nowadays, some of them, they get mad because they get a chore to do. Well, why don't we get an allowance? Because the mom says, every day I have to tell you to do it. You want an allowance, you take the pressure off me. If you're garbage, if you're taking the dog out for the other child, that's fine. But I don't have to be the one that tells you. And I'm going to tell you, my daughter has a new little puppy. And they put bells on the door. And they're trying to teach this puppy, when you got to go outside, you go put your paw up on the bells and they'll ring. And that way he won't have the accident in the house. And they'll take him out and everything will be good. And I'll be darned, we're sitting at the kitchen table tonight, just before I come home, and all of a sudden I heard bells ring, and I looked over and I said, Amber. She said, I heard it, Dad. Whose day is it for the little puppy? Because I have two dogs. I have an older one.
Why didn't one of you?
But the older one has never went on the floor in his life. So that being said, it was Patriot 7's day to take him out. Well, come on. We're trying. It doesn't do no good to try to teach him something. And then when he does it, he has to sit there and wait and wait and wait and wait by the door. That doesn't do a bit of good. But, if you say something to him, come on, get up and start doing it. Well, I just started this. Well, I don't care. If you would have taken him out when you came home from school, you would. But see, you reward kids for doing what they're supposed to do. That's my feelings. Not to say we had a mean mom, but if we had something to do, we didn't get rewarded with money. Every one of us, Ron, Russ, and myself, we always had a paper route. We detasseled corn. You know.
Build hay.
What?
Build hay. Build hay.
Oh, Ron built hay. I never did. But I walked a lot of beans, and sometimes I walked people's beans that I wasn't even supposed to walk. We walked a whole field and then realized we walked the wrong one. Ron got a little mad at me on that one. But it is what it is. But I really believe what we're coming into is more for the kids because they're our backbone. But then you stop and think, well when are we going to turn the gauntlet over? Because with the beds, if we're still here for another 100, if we can't teach these kids today over the next 150 to 200 years what they need to do and how they need to do it, we're in bad shape. So, where are we? Well, we're right where we need to be. Excuse-itis. Wouldn't you agree? And I say excuse-itis for a very good reason. I'm going to try to pull it up and see. But you know, we all are individuals who, most of us here, we get Bruce sent to us so we can see what Bruce has to say. Oh, and I lost it. Hold on. Well, here's what Bruce had to say last night. And I thought it was a bunch of crap. First of all, I literally fell asleep trying to listen to Bruce last night. Marianne was coming home from someplace, so she wasn't there to give me play-by-play, let me know what's going on. So I actually had to listen to it when it came out, because I will not go and listen to it. I will not go and listen to it before, because I am not going to put up with Sue and Bob. And they might be the two nicest people in the world, but enough is enough. And when Bruce first comes on last night, the first thing he says is, where are we at? Well, let's see. I don't know how much I'm going to be able to tell you tonight. He says, because I don't know how much time I have. I'll have to check on how much time I have. Why? What is there a time limit? Does your phone go off at a certain time? You can't talk after a certain time. Do you have to go to bed? Or you'll get grounded? But what it was is he let these two other ones talk so long. And it wasn't even bad if you let them talk so long. And go through everything they go through. But I don't know who Bob Ross is, so oh, Bruce is better than, yeah, Bob is good to sleep on. But anyway, he comes on and he says that. He comes on and he says that, and he goes, then he says, we had sources saying we could get notified today. And now the reason we did not go today is because we have 3 states, Maryland, Washington State, and California, with banks that did not comply to get the QFS system. They did not want the people in those states not to be able to revalue their currencies. 2 countries in Europe, England and Germany, have been holdouts to get integrated in the QFS, and they are to get integrated overnight, and the banks will be sold to other banks. Now, what I'm going to say about that, I hope it happened. I hope it's a go. But if you ever talk to Marianne, she'll tell you that I'm not just saying this. It's something if me and her are online together, for the show. I tell her every night. We try to guess what Bruce's opening line is going to be. What's going to be the excuse that we did not get the 800 numbers? Is it going to be bankers didn't comply? Is it going to be the hat had something he had to deal with? Is it going to be them two countries that are supposedly still at war, which they are because the crane was shelled again a couple of days ago? Very, very close to where the girl that I write every day lives. But I said, does anybody live in the places it was shelled? And she says, no, there was 2 abandoned buildings. So there you go. Showtime. I can't tell her that, guys. First of all, if I would, and she would go out thinking, hey, Ralph says it's really not real. She might take on one of those shells and then she'd be here and there and over here and somewhere else. But there's always an excuse. The way me and Mary Ann on Tuesdays and Thursday nights, we discuss this. We say, old news. Just decorated it a little bit. We want other states to be completely interconnected tonight. President the Hat said Iraq is completely revalued, and he said it is available as soon as the rate went live, which it did this morning. He said within 2 days, 48 hours, that would be exchangeable, i.e., the IQD. That is what was said about a call meeting time of 48 minutes. I think it is wonderful President the Hat brought this info out, and we can pass it on to say we are ready. It looks like we could be notified tomorrow or on Thursday, but the next 2 days look very good for us based on President the Hat, what he said today. S. Munchkin stated Scott Bessent completed it, was not going to go under Obi or Sleepy. Praise God we have a press who wants this for all of us, and it will happen soon. Well, we all knew it wasn't going to go under them. The only president it could go under is the Hat. I mean, he has nothing to stand on. He might have lost the election if we'd have come out and let it go under Obi. No, there's no way that idiot running against him was going to beat him. The R&R, oh no, never mind. We believe the DOG payments will also start this week, direct deposits. The R&R will be paid at redemption centers. Mention the R&R at the redemption centers to make sure it already is in your QFS account. Beyond that, no Social Security increase this month, but we will see. I don't know if he's saying there will be none, but because then he says, but we will see. Remember, the Social Security increase was supposed to be by the 15th. I think you guys that we finally getting ready to step off the roller coaster. The info we're getting is pointing towards the fact that President the Hat wanted this to start before Easter Sunday and Christmas and New Year's and my birthday and on and on and on, and be underway this week for exchanges for the DOG e-payments. DOG payments, e-payments, go out to just about everyone, regardless of having currency. On redemption center screens, there are 17 currencies going up in value, 3 of which are going up like gangbusters. Dinar, Dong, and I think the IMO is Bolivar. Now today on Restored Republic, they did say the Bolivar, and they said right now the Bolivar is about $7 a piece. So remember, everyone, all of them. I'm not a financial advisor, but all those people that took my advice, and when you could get them $1 million Bolivar notes very, very cheap, very cheap. One note could be worth $7 million. Now, I would tell you what it would be worth to me and Ron, but I'm not going to tell anybody anymore how much currency I have. If you want to know, ballpark, send me an email and I will discuss it with you. But it's come to my attention, and I apologize. I really do. I didn't know that me talking about the currency I had was bothering people, but it come to my attention that I need to think before I say what I say. And maybe it did come off that I was bragging how much I have. I didn't. I responded to the gentleman. There was no hard feelings between him or me. It's just that he had something to say, and I went back with my answer. I didn't realize I was bragging. I give up a lot to get this currency. And I can go back and relate to people not having money for currency, because when I first started this, it was Ron who put the money up first. Then it was Ron and my brother Russ, and then Ron again. And then finally I got involved when I finally got some money. So, yes, so close, Mac. So I said I did not mean to offend anybody. I was not saying it to brag. If I was saying it to brag, why would I also say, with what I get, I'm going to help a lot of people. As long as I can get what I want, and it's not all that elaborate. Yeah, I want a new car, I want a new truck, and I want about 3 older cars that I can put in a garage. The older cars are just for to drive in parades and things like that with my grandkids. The truck and the car. Like Ron don't even have a license, but he's going to buy a brand new Cadillac because he fell in love with a Cadillac at one point. So I talked too much off the thing and my screen felt shut off. Oh, I hate when that happens. There we go. So anyway, others will all go up, be around $4 to $7, but Dinar, Dong, and Bolivar will be higher. This is the greatest turnover of wealth in the history of the world, and all of you are part of it. The wealth of the wicked is laid upon the righteous. This has finally come to fruition, but we should start looking for emails Wednesday, Thursday, President the Hat, within the next 48 hours. That's Bruce's call. I thought, other than starting off saying that he didn't know how much time he had, because more or less saying the other 2 people had taken too, too long. I thought other than that, it was a pretty good call. It was not good enough to keep me awake. I started to watch it, I listened to it last night. And as I said, I got frustrated when I first heard what he said. And within 5 minutes of it, I was out. And then I got the recap of it this morning from Marianne. Okay. Marianne saying we have a lot of newcomers, so welcome all newcomers. I'm not Marianne. Myrna said it, I think. But anyway, thank you for announcing that we have newcomers. Thank you very much.
Names that I ain't seen before.
So we are growing a little bit. That's good, but we have to remember one thing, that as we grow, we're still family. And that's the most important thing. The kids And being family is the most important thing to me with this show. The rest of it will either happen or it won't. And we have no control over it. Now, I do want to go back and talk a little bit about Patriot 70. He had his first ball game last night. He played third base. He had one hit in his first two times at bat. The second time, he kind of got scolded out by his grandpa, Papa, a.k.a. me, because he was not aggressive at all. And when you play a baseball game, you only get so many at-bats. And if you waste one, you're not just wasting the at-bat for you, but you're wasting the at-bat for the teammates. So the third time he came up, they brought a new pitcher in, and this little boy couldn't pitch. He's a great little kid, but he just couldn't pitch. And he threw Patriot 5 pitches, of which 4 of them almost hit him. The 5th one almost hit him too, but I don't know, for some reason, the umpire called it a strike, and I go, you got to be joking. And then the last inning, he got to pitch. He faced 3 batters. He struck 2 of them out, and he walked 1. But when he was warming up in between innings to pitch, man, he was throwing the ball in there really good. He was rewarded for his effort by his papa. Went out and bought him one of those pitching screens so he can practice. He has a good little arm. He's very accurate with his arm because I taught him how to play catch so the person he's playing with can catch the ball. And he does that. But the batter he walked, he wasn't even close. And I asked him, I said, in practice, man, you was just playing catch with your coach. He was catching you in practice while the little guy was getting his equipment on. And me and his grandmother were sitting there talking about how impressed we were. And he said, well, when the inning started and the batter stepped in the box to bat, I got a little worried about hitting him. I says, part of the game. You're not going to go out there and intentionally hit him, but what did I teach you when you're playing catch? He said, you showed me a zone to throw to so the person I'm playing with could catch it no matter what. If you shoot for the up in the chest, if you go a little high, it's still up here, you can catch it. If you go a little low, it's down here and you can still catch it. And I said, so why didn't you use that? Well, he said, I just got off track a little bit, but it'll be okay. And he said, plus, when I walked the kid, I heard some older grandpa in the stands yell, hey, that isn't how you were taught. So I thought I better go back and throw to the glove of the catcher. And he did, and he struck the kid out. Then they took him out because they wanted one more kid to pitch, the coach's son, which he pitched last year. He's not too bad a little pitcher, but I guess they wanted him to get the save. Because there might have been scouts in this, Dan, and you always got to have a closer. So that being said, let's see what else we have. Here's something about the big N. Quantum Big G, a.k.a. Trump Zara. Farmers Plan and more. Power back to the people. Quantum Big G. The final reset has begun. In the midst of global turnover and crumbling fiat economy, the revolutionary system is emerging. Quantum Big G, also called Big Hat Zara. I didn't say that the first time. It fuses the Big N and Big G, quantum technology, the 1955 price reset. Guys, can you imagine? And if you can't, John, Jeffrey, if you can't imagine the 1955 prices, do a Google search and asked for prices of certain items in 1955. You know, the money that we're supposed to get, say it's going to be a few million, which we know we're supposed to get more than that.
10 years old and
The money that you were supposed to get, the prices compared to the same prices now, it'll take that few million and turn you into a billionaire. Technically speaking, if you understand what I mean. It's like, I'm just going to go back to the year 1973. I bought my first brand new car, a Dodge Dart. Sunroof, real nice stereo system. You know, you had to have the good stuff. Electric windows. First car I'd ever ridden in that had electric windows in it. Out the door, tax, title, everything. $3,297. Guy looked at me and said, I told you we'd keep you under $3,300. $3,297. You can't even buy a used car today. 15 years old with 150,000 miles on it for $3,300. And that was in 73. We can still go 18 more years back. But see, in 55, Ron said he was a whole 10 years old. Well, he was an old guy because I was a whole 1 year old. A return to 1955, the American dream reborn. Imagine a world where you can buy a home for the cost of a modern day appliance. That's a promise of the 1955 reset. Through the resurrection of suppressed executive orders and sovereign common law, we're entering a phase where inflation is crushed, debt is erased, and life becomes affordable again. This isn't nostalgia, it's policy. History is being reversed. The U.S. Treasury is aligning with ISO 20022 and the Rainbow Treasury notes backed by gold and silver. The Federal Reserve, gone. Starlink is the new nervous system of commerce, and the quantum internet on the rise. Censorship will be obliterated, as the truth floods the globe. Quantum technology is here. Finance, voting, internet, healing, the quantum financial system. QFS now replaces the corrupt banking grid, routing transaction via secure Starlink satellites. QFS, the incorruptible, decentralized, and tied to asset-backed currencies. Quantum voting system, QVS, eliminates election fraud with a blockchain-based precision. The quantum internet is replacing legacy systems and purging Operation Mockingbird influence from media. Even our health is being revolutionized by special beds, DNA repair. The energy healing tech are no longer science fiction. They are being quietly deployed under military supervision. Suppressed patents from black budget programmings are now emerging to serve humanity. The global currency reset, GCR, the MOAB has detonated. The GCR, aka the mother of all bombs, has been triggered. Treasury-backed rainbow notes are live in test markets. The old fiat system is disintegrating. A 10-day shutdown will activate the EBS system, and following a 3-day quantum blockchain election, governments will reset under new leadership, downsized by 90%. Restitution and justice, Big N, Big G, and the St. Germain Trust. Where is the stolen wealth? Who hijacked the prosperity programs? The answers are being exposed. The return of taxes paid, reparations for illegal foreclosures, and justice for the stolen St. Germain Trust are all the core of the Big N, Big G. This is not theory, it's restitution. White Hats United, the Hat, XI, Putin, and the Earth Alliance. This isn't about one nation. It's global leaders like the Hat, Putin, and XI, alongside military-backed alliances and civilian awakenings, are restoring sovereignty, exposing the cabal, executing long-planned tribunals. The criminal banking matrix is being dismantled. The state's end is mathematically certain. The final phase has begun. A new government structure forming the Big G. Blockchain elections will permanently remove corruption. Media monopolies are collapsing. The CIA, Mossad, and MI6 will be replaced by military intelligence with one global new channel. Truth becomes the standard. The countdown is ticking. The time to choose is now. The question is no longer if. The question is, will you be ready? Because the quantum age is coming. It's already here. Whew, that was a mouthful. I didn't think I was going to get through it. We also have Judy here that we can read. I don't know if I'm going to read a whole lot of it. Just for the fact that my throat is starting to itch and I don't want to get into a coughing spree. But I will say this, for anyone who has not watched the Restored Republic today, if you have not watched it or listened to it, not watched, but listened to it, if you haven't, I highly recommend you do. I mean, when you listen to that, you're going to come out and you're going to know it's here. It's ready just to flip a switch, whether it's going to be Mr. C, flip the switch, or if it's going to be someone else, flip the switch. That's what's going to happen. As I said, guys, I am getting very graspy in my throat right now, so I'm going to say a quick prayer and call it a night. If something happens tonight, tomorrow, I promise you we'll come back on before Friday. If not, we'll see you Friday. For those who's here tonight that might not be able to make Friday, happy Easter to all. For all of you, happy Easter to all. I hope everybody is preparing to have a good Easter as best as you possibly can. And, you know, the Hat has said he wants this done by Easter. Well, he wanted it done by Christmas, and he couldn't even get Christmas in July. At some point, he's got to do it. He's got to pull the plug. He's got to get things going. And we can only hope and pray that it happens very soon. Dear Lord, as we come to the end of tonight's show, please look after all of us, the children especially, 100% of the children, and everybody on the show tonight, all their family, friends, and loved ones. Lord, look out to the people who actually need your help, really need it bad. And let's move forward. Helping them, putting an angel on their shoulder if need be, to get them to that magical day when the magical beds come out. As we come to you and talk to you through our Savior, your Son, Jesus Christ. Amen and amen. As I said in the prayer about the magical beds, I would like to reiterate a little bit on them. Because just the other day it was announced in a video that our tremendous military underground has confiscated 10,000 more of these beds. We don't know how many more is under there. Mern, I seen you was on, and you see I got your sweatshirt you give me on. But anyway, they was hiding these from us. But you know the thing I don't understand, they must not have been smart enough to use them right, because they say we can turn back time. We can find a way. And I'm not going to go into singing to you guys. But boy, they sure the heck didn't turn the time back on Sleepy. And they sure didn't do anything good for that lady that run for president. And then let's look at Bernie Sanders. He looks like a dry piece of skin over another dry piece of skin over another dry piece of skin. And don't forget Watermelon Head. I heard he might be the first. I heard. So we'll see. Good night, everyone. Thanks for coming and joining tonight. For everyone, thank you for being here. For the new people, I hope you enjoyed. Usually it's a little bit better show, but it'll get better. Thanks a lot. We love you all. Good night. God bless.